This conference will now be recorded.
So before we start learning Power BI, okay, let's understand about the analytics part, what we are using in the industry. So this is very important for anyone who wants to start this business intelligence. Okay, the BI tools, whatever you are learning, there are a lot many things. First, you should actually be aware. Why I'm telling this, because many people actually think that Power BI means we can learn some technology and we can enter. Never do that, because just by learning the technology, it's not that you'll become expert or something. You should know a lot many things. Like you should know about the business, you should know about the domain, you should understand about the data. There are a lot many things what you should actually understand. Before understanding this technology, you should also know that the purpose of learning this complete course. Otherwise, you know what will happen, you just learn Power BI. So in Power BI we have some charts to be created, so I'll just import some data, then I'll create some charts over. But how will you explain this to the client? So how will the client actually, have that confidence that, okay, if I give the data to you, they will understand, or say they will give me the solutions? Because you have to be an analyst. You should be an analyst where you give suggestions to the client, right? So if you're not understanding the data, if you're not understanding the concept, if you're not understanding the domain, then how will you actually give suggestions to the client? Because client is coming to you so thinking that I'll get some solutions, and it's the job of an analyst or a company to give the solutions rather than just working blindly, right? So there are so many things which you should understand before learning the tools. The BI tools or Excel or database or whatever you're learning, these are all just the tools which helps you to implement the concept what the client is asking. But if you're not understanding the concepts itself, then there is no meaning in learning all these things, right? See, there is a lot of difference between an analyst and a software developer. Analyst actually has to analyze complete things, that is right from the understanding of the requirement of the clients, to understand the data whether the requirements will meet, and then implement it and then submit it. So there are so many processes what the analyst has to do. But have you seen the software developer? What he will do, the client will tell that, okay, I want a button here, click on this, this output has to come. He will just do only that. But you people should not be like that. I want you people to be an analyst, the real analyst. A real analyst is who actually give the suggestions. So that is what I meant. So today and tomorrow, just try to understand the complete market, complete understanding of how actually I should understand the requirements, then which tool I should use, and how actually I should convert the data to the presentable reports and then submit it to the client. So this is how we should get trained. Then I'll tell you, it is easy to get a job, easy to make your career something very big in business intelligence or anything, more than that, that is data science or anything, right? So make sure that you will understand the concept first, right? Okay. So when you're actually when you want to become a business, say a business analyst or data analyst, first understand what is this business analyst, business analytics, and data analytics. Otherwise, there is no meaning in learning all this. Never learn anything blindly, right? Okay. First, let's understand what is this business analytics and data analytics is. First, we'll see what is this business analytics. Business analytics means it is combination of skills, technologies, then what all the data is what we get, converting that into presentable reports, right? So I have a concept. Client will come to me and say that I want some reports like this. He will just dump the data to me. The data can be in any formats, right? Now I need to analyze that right from the business perspective. For that, I should have a lot of skills. That is business, that is domain skills. But that doesn't mean that you should be master in that or you should be expert in that domain only. It's a common sense actually. If you just see that data, you'll easily understand. So when you are a business analyst, you should understand few things. Say, what does it says? It says combination of skills, the technologies and practices used to examine the organization data and perform as a way to gain insights and make data driven decisions in future using statistical analysis. The goal of a BA is to narrow down which data sets are useful and which can increase revenue, productivity, and efficiency. This is what I was telling in a general way, right? You get the data from the client and you just have to give insights. What are the insights? he should be able to understand, okay, this is where I'm failing, this is where I'm success. So if you want to make more business, what should I do? That is called as insights. You're just telling the client, saying that, see, this is where you are failing. For example, I have a product and I actually do the sales in different areas. There are some areas where I have the more, the sales are more. For example, just imagine a stationery shop. If I'm actually opening a stationery shop, I'll always think about opening a shop near school colleges only, right? I'll not go and open somewhere where industrial estates are there, or say industrial areas are there. Why? Because the requirement, wherever we have more, we should actually think about the business there. So these are the suggestions what you have to give. Say when there is a fail in business, the business analyst has to suggest the client, saying that, see, this is where you are failing, this is what you should do, your data says like this, right? So that is the job of an analyst. Understood? Okay. All right. Now next is, what is the process? When I want to become a data analyst, if you want to understand what is this data analytics, the business analyst, and what business analytics is completely, the process is, let's see, first is understanding the business need. I told you in general, right, beginning only. First we should understand the business need. That is what a business analyst has to do first. Directly you take the data and say, I'll do this in Power BI. Never do that. That will come when you come to this Power BI. I'll tell you how to choose the technologies. The next step is data collection. This is very common, right? This is a very common sense actually. The first is, I'll go to the client will approach us, or I'll go to the client and ask what actually you need. The next is, for that thing, whatever he is planning, do you have the data? Now he will give the data. So once he gives the data, then what I should do? The next is, I'll analyze the data. Even though if I'm not explaining this also, it is like common thing, right? You can easily understand this. It's not that I have to explain all these things. It will come in everyone's mind that this is how I have to plan, right? But this process, if you follow, then you can really become a business analyst very easily. Very simple things actually. See, I'll analyze the data and then I'll predict. Say, okay, this is what you can do, this is what I told you, right? So you can easily know that, okay, this is the problems, this is where your success because of this process, this is where your failure because of this process. So what is that you need to correct? Next, get the right or best solution depending on all your analytical skills. Now you're actually giving the suggestion to the client, saying that, see, this is where you have failed. No one is bothered about the success. If you're getting more business, they'll think that, okay, let it go like this only, right? But if there is any failure, then only people think, so what should I do? Because I am losing my business, I have to do something. So you have to give the best solution. The analyst job is this, not typing something, writing some program and automation. I'll tell you why analyst has to actually learn the programming or work on these technologies later. Okay, but the actual job of an analyst is this. All right. Next is making a decision. So after you give the right solution, don't think that client will just like that will accept. You go to a client and say, see, in this area your sales is not happening. You do one thing, you invest some 5 crores, then you open one big shop, very nice shop, your business will go high. Client will not agree for that, because client always will think that, or when you are giving a suggestion, it should be like very less investment, more of income. This is what actually the clients will expect from you. Now you say that invest 5 crores in one area, open one shop, a very big shop, that's all, your sales will be high. What if the sales are not happening, right? So the decision making is actually taken by the client. So I can only suggest you, I can only give the solutions, right? Next, again the process continues. Okay, see, it's very common sense, it's a very simple one, but you have to put them in order. This is how you should be. You just go to an interview saying that, sir, I know Power BI, I know DAX functions, I know Power Query Editor. They'll not give Java. Many of them actually fail here because they are analysts. They don't know what actually they should do. They only think that if I learn macros, if I learn VBA, I know automations, I'll get the job. Never do that. That is the biggest mistake many of them actually do. But by luck, yes, you get. because they want someone technically, but you're not an analyst when you completely work only on the technical side. Okay, fine. Data analytics. Now there is a lot of confusion with this data analytics and business analytics. When I started my career, say in 2005, 2006, the difference between business analytics and data analytics was very huge. There was no connection between these two, say in the designation wise. Business analytics, the person who is a business analyst should go to the client, take the requirements and collect the data and come back and give it to the person who is completely a technical person. He's a data analyst. His job was to collect the data from the business analyst, understand completely, and tell the business analyst saying that there are some errors in this. I'm some tool and he'll say that, okay, this is what I'm actually checking. There are some differences what the requirement you have given and the data, it is not matching. Then again, the business analyst will go to the client and he'll say that, see, this is what is happening. Right? That is what was happening previously. Now what has happened is, after 2011, say 12, what I have seen, the difference between business analytics and data analytics, there is no difference. You see in the company, the same business analyst will be doing the work of data analytics also. The data analytics job will be done by business analytics also. So now it is like just for a designation wise they actually give. Usually this business analytics or the business analyst role was more in banks, not many in other companies. But now you can see business analyst means it has become like a data entry operator. People who are working on some automations or reporting, they are also called as business analyst. Or people who are doing the business analyst actual job is also business analyst. So we have to go with the current situation. So I'm not telling you that there is no difference. So that depends on company to company. I'm telling you the practical way. So maybe some people might agree, some people might not agree. But what experience I have, what I have seen in the industry, I'm just telling that. But the actual job of a data analyst is more of a technical person. He's not bothered about whether the business is running, is making profit, loss. He's not bothered. He will just give the decision saying that, see, this is what is happening because of the data. Now what decision has to take, that is between the client and the business analyst. But now it's not like that. You have to take the role of BA and DA both. Why? Because the company will give the salary for one person and get the work done by 3-4 person. That is what is happening. After this COVID, I'll tell you, people have become mad. 5 to 6 people work, one person is doing. They're squeezing like anything. But for that, we should be prepared. We should be smart enough to work. That I'll tell you how we should handle all these things. Okay. So to just understand what this data analytics is and who is a data analyst, let's understand this. The process of exploring, analyzing large data sets. These are all maybe some technical words, but I always speak in a very general way. So, whatever I told, that is just put in the points there. It says process of exploring and analyzing large data sets. Business analyst will not actually do, he will not do this. His job is, see, I have a data, you just check this. I'm not bothered about all this data. So you have to take care of this. So what this large data set means, in a business, I cannot have 10 rows or 20 rows or something in Excel. It will be like huge data. Many of them actually come and ask, sir, why should I learn SQL? Only Power BI is enough. Why SQL is required? See, here the point itself says that large data set. If you go to some companies, it's not that just by Excel you can, I'm not telling that Excel is bad or Excel you won't get job. Excel is must and should. But when it comes to large data set, you have to think about some other technology. So if you want to become a data analyst, make sure that you're technically good, right? Especially with data. I'm telling you, a person who wants to enter this analytics and reporting should be very good in data. I'm not telling that technology. Again, don't get confused. When I say data, any technology, any software you give, if you see the data, you should understand, oh, fine. This is what is happening. You should be very good in understanding the data, right? Okay. What is the next one says? Focus on extracting insight from raw data using specialized tools or softwares. See, every point there is pointing out the technology. Nowhere I'm talking about the business, right? So what is he saying? Focus on extracting insights. So how will I get the insights? By the raw data. The raw data means unclean data, unstructured data. So we won't say that unclean data or unstructured data. Technically, we call it as raw data. So if at all you find any word like this, if at all you go for an interview and say that, some people will say that raw data, you just understand that it is unstructured, uncleaned, no formats in that. So this is what we call it as raw data. That one word is enough, so that it is not cleaned. So this raw data we have to process, and finally we have to convert that into a presentable report. That is data analyst role. Okay, helps in improving the speed and efficiency of your business. Just by seeing the data, I cannot say that the business is happening good or bad. We have to do a lot of process by using technology. Okay, so this is what it says here, right? Now comes the actual technology. You understood who is a business analyst, you understood who is a data analyst, but now for analyzing the data, for suggesting the client, I need to have some tool. Imagine you are planning for a trip. There'll be a lot of people, they'll plan so many things. Now the destination, the final destination also, the place also you have decided, but how will you go? There should be some means, right? There should be some transportation where I'll go by bus, car, anything. That tool, whatever is there, that is business intelligence. The planning for the trip is about discussing with the clients. The destination where you're going, that is the output. But in the middle, if you want to reach the destination, I need some means, right? Transportation, say by car, by bus, you go by anyways. For analytics and reportings, we have many tools. In that, now business intelligence play a very important role, right? Now what is this business intelligence? We'll understand that. Yeah, okay. Business intelligence, it is a set of process, architecture, technologies, tools that convert raw data into meaningful presentable reports. Let's take the final output. When I take the final output, that means when I actually see with the client actually expects what? He has to sit, see the screen, he should see the reports, that's all. No client will say that I want to see the data, which is raw data, unclean data, show me that, and then show me the reports. He is not even bothered. And I'll tell you, there are some clients, they're not even bothered to see that reports, entire reports. They want only one number. I have worked with that client, that kind of clients also. They'll say, show me the profit, how much I've made, that's all, for each product. They are not bothered about pie chart, they are not bothered about column chart, nothing. You know how they speak, they say, show me what is the profit I've made with each product. Tell me in which area I'm doing good profit. Understood? So this is how they are not bothered about that data. So what will you do with 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs data? He's not bothered, right? So to do this, to reach that position, we need some skills. The skills includes understanding of the data, taking the data and working in some tools, that is softwares. For that, I need to do some architecture, that is planning, right? So all these process, what we do, right from understanding the data and then process it, create some architecture out of it, and then giving the presentable output. This process is called as business intelligence, because we are understanding everything. And people, I'll tell you, whenever you're working on any kind of projects, planning is important. But here in analytics and reporting project, you require more planning because you're working on data. One small number will spoil the entire report. One column exchanged, then it will spoil the entire report. So you should be very careful. Okay, fine. What is the second point says? Business intelligence combine business analytics, data mining, data visualization, data tools and infrastructure, and best practice to help organization to make more data driven decisions. See, all the points, whatever we have discussed, it is like putting it into one place. So we saw that one chart, that is, and meeting the client, then taking the data, understanding the data, making decisions, doing analytics, and then again giving it to the client. Now we are speaking technically. That's all. Same thing. We are speaking technically. So what does it says? It is saying that it's a combination of business analytics and data analytics. Business analyst will get the business. Data analyst will do the process. Finally, who will actually give the product? Business analyst only. The people who are actually working in the back end, they'll be working only. The people who are in the front end, they'll only actually get a lot of scope or promotions or whatever. But main thing is the data analyst role. He is the key player. If data analyst makes a mistake, the entire process is gone. Right? So for that, we will have so many tools to learn. I will talk about those tools. Before that, we'll just finish this slide. It's a process of transforming data into action. Same thing. Right, making decision is okay. Okay. Now you see the process. So what are process of business intelligence will do? I just told generally. Now you see technically. Say data mining. Many of them actually don't know what is this data mining or the technical terminologies. It makes them confusing. In this class itself, there are many people who think that, oh, I don't know coding, so what I should do. They'll be thinking that programming is very difficult, or learning something technically. I'm not at all from technical background. See, there is nothing like that. I'll tell you. See, this process, if you say, it says data mining. What is mining? Mining, everyone knows. Mining means digging, right? Digging. You keep digging, you'll be keep getting something. So data mining means I'm actually trying to mine the data. There are so many data. I mean, the data is kept somewhere in data warehouse. I am actually trying to extract the data for my requirement. There will be some huge database where I want few columns from there. So I'll just take only few columns from there, right? Then we have reportings, then we have performance metric and benchmarking, descriptive analytics, querying, statistical analysis. So all these are the process of learning the data and getting prepared for creating the reports, right? It's not that every steps has to be involved. Directly I can say data mining, I can create the reports. You don't require any statistical analysis as well. And there is a big question mark for so many people. Almost 60 to 70% of the people who come to me, they ask, sir, I don't know statistics. Can I learn R language? Can I learn Python? These are all technologies. I can understand. See, statistical process or say statistical knowledge has to be required for doing some statistical modeling. Not everywhere you have to include that. When I say I want to do some application or say just to create the reports, why do you require statistical knowledge? If you don't have knowledge of statistics, also you can become an analyst. But if you know, it is advantage. That's all. The more knowledge, the more advantage, the more opportunities, and finally the more salary. Right? Okay. Fine. So visualization, analysis, data preparation. This is the complete process. Why business intelligence? Why BI? We call it as BI. So if I mention BI, so don't get confused. BI is nothing but business intelligence. Why should we use this BI? Business intelligence can help companies make better decisions. This is what a company needs. When I can give a better decision, when a company is getting more business because of my suggestions. Nowadays, you have seen YouTube, there are so many influencers, they'll be keep giving suggestions. I saw one person saying that get 1,000 subscribers in one day, but his subscription is some 20 or 30. You understood? Now, if you see that, I'm just giving an example. See, when you're actually suggesting something to the client, you should be perfect. His YouTube channel itself is like 20 to 30, and he's actually suggesting people to get 1,000 subscribers. Then how will you actually believe him? So even the clients are not deaf, or say they're not fool, just directly coming to you. They'll check every background of yours. Okay. So it is actually very good that you give a decision, you give a suggestion which makes the company to take the decision and grow their business. So that is how we should be. I'm not telling you that directly go to a company and give them some suggestions within your organization, only within your team itself. If you make some good, if you're giving some suggestions, and if that goes good, obviously you'll be recognized. I know it's a wrong word that always you'll be recognized. Some people sitting here, they have not recognized also even after doing good things. But yes, you have to implement it, right? Okay, so identify ways to increase profit, analyze customer behavior, compare data with competitors, track performance. These are all some steps what you should actually follow while giving the suggestions, right? Okay, now this is what we are all waiting for. So whatever we learned, whatever we discussed till now was like the background. Why are we learning this, the entire say course? But what are we learning is what now we are seeing. Say business intelligence tools. First, let's understand what is this tool. I told you one example. You're planning for a trip. You would have seen while planning there'll be 10 to 15 people. They'll come and they'll gather and say we'll do that, we'll do this and all. Destination also is finalized. Now if you don't know which tool to use, which way to go, then it will become difficult. If you are only 4 of them, obviously you'll plan for a car. If you're 10 of them, then again you'll think about the next level of vehicle. If there are some 20, 30, then again something bigger than that. This is what you should actually take the decision. Don't blindly say that Power BI, okay, I know Power BI, I'll do this. It's not that. You have to first know the data. You should know the requirement. Then you have to decide which tool I should use. Okay. So what does it says? Business intelligence tools are types of software used to gather, process, analyze, and visualize large volumes of the data. So it can be historical data, present data, or the future data. When I say historical data, that means there are so many data of previous year, or say lot many other data which transaction been happened previously, right? So that tool what I'm using should be able to handle all these things. The huge data it should handle, right? Now next is they include key features such as data visualization, visual analytics, interactive dashboarding, and KPI scoreboards. This is the final output what we're actually giving. Data visualization. Why visualization? Visualizations are very important now, right? When you go for a function, like any function, we actually plan to wear nice dress, right? Just like that we don't go. Why we won't go like that? Because I want to be presentable. Same thing, your project also, it should be very presentable, meaningful, and understandable. Keep this in mind. It should be very presentable, very understandable, and very meaningful. If it is not meaningful, then there is no way of there is no way to show that project to client. It should be easily understandable for it. Don't ever give reports thinking that okay, if I give some 10 reports he'll be very happy. Never do that. One project was there, I cannot name the client. It's a very big client, you can't even imagine. Also it's a very big client. Actually we wanted to impress him. We created 52 reports when I was working. When we did 52 reports just to impress, thinking that we'll get more business, mail, this is not what I wanted, please send me the required reports. That's all, only one mail. It was like a bounce back. We actually felt very bad. We spent almost 1 week to create all those reports. Client is not interested in more number of reports. Client is interested with only what he wants. So we thought, we overestimated, thinking that we can impress him like that. He blasted us. Then again we got nicely. Then I understood that what client needs, we have to understand that. Okay, even I have done a lot of mistakes when I was analyst. Okay, so make sure that the client should be happy with what you're giving, and don't give so many reports. Give some 3 reports enough. You should feel very happy, because the client is always happy with the final say output what he wants. That's all. Okay, fine. Then they enable user to utilize automated reporting and predictive analytics features based on self-service. So the tool has to be it should have the capacity, or say the ability, to give me some analytics services very easily. That is, I can share the reports very easily. It should not be like always keep on mailing. Those days are gone when we actually use the reports in Excel. Every time we do some updates, we keep on mailing. Imagine 10 updates, 10 mails. The client will get frustrated. Now things are changed. I update my data here. The report should get updated somewhere. That report is there with him. Just refresh, you should get the updated data. So that is why these business intelligence tools have become more and more and more popular. Okay, right. Different type of tools in industry. There are so many BI tools. In that, Power BI always tops. Why? Because it is from Microsoft. Right? When I say Microsoft, everyone say, ah, I know. Because everyone has got Windows. Everyone has worked on Excel, Word, PowerPoint. So it will be very easy for any person who use Windows and MS Office learn this Power BI easily. There are a few technical things which you can learn as when you keep going, but it is very easy to understand the Power BI tool because it is exactly the like what we have is MS Office, and in US Power BI is included in MS Office package itself. But in India we'll also get that shortly. It's not there, but they'll include it shortly. Like what we have the Skype and all, now it's there in MS Office application only. Power BI is also already there, but next it will be included in India as well. But as of now, you can download that for free. I'll show you that. You can download and you can work on it completely free. No worries. Then we have Tableau. Most of you actually wants to learn Tableau also. Yes, Tableau is also equally very in demand. Then ClickView. I'm not sure because ClickView, when I was working in 2011, 12, and all, this was like very demanding BI tool. But now I'm not seeing so much of demand, and I'm not getting any requirements also from the clients on ClickView. But Power BI and Tableau is what I'm getting very much. But MicroStrategy, I think, I don't know whether I put in MicroStrategy. Okay, it's there here. MicroStrategy was also there, but now most of the MicroStrategy projects have been converted. They are getting converted into this BI tools. Okay, but otherwise there are so many other things which I have not worked on that. But Power BI is actually the high demand software, say analytical tool, it's a BI tool, which many of the companies are trying to implement and converting their projects from Excel dashboards to Power BI, or Tableau projects also have been converted to Power BI. And again, I'm not telling you that you should learn only Power BI. It is left to each individual, but Power BI is on demand, and we are actually learning this software in this entire course. Right? So there are so many, there are hundreds of BI tools in the industry. It depends on company, depending on their budget, they actually purchase this. But for a student or a person who actually wants to start his own freelancing projects, he can go ahead with Power BI because it is completely free. And if he wants to get the licensed version, and again, it's not that very costly also. I'll talk about that installation. That is, we'll discuss in the next session. So today we'll understand about the complete picture of the business analytics, data analytics, and business intelligence. Okay, right. So I was talking about Power BI. Most of them think that Power BI is a very advanced tool, and it is like only for people who are completely technical person, or people who are already in the industry, who have got a lot of experience in reporting. It is nothing like that. See, I'll tell you, Power BI is nothing but it's a business intelligence tools from Microsoft. It is just the extension of Excel. That's all I can say. If you know the concept of pivot table, just pivot table, you can learn the entire Power BI very easily. But there are so many other options in that I'll discuss. Those options also can be learned very easily. Just some efforts, some interest, and confidence is enough. If you have that confidence, if you have that interest, I'll tell you 100% you can become expert. No one can stop you. You can become expert than who are actually working in the industry. I always tell there are two things which you should have before starting this course. I'm telling this: have interest and confidence. If you have these two things, I'll tell you, you can learn anything. Right? Okay, so what is a Power BI? To make it very simple, it's a BI tool, that's all. Okay, it says Power BI is a business analytics service by Microsoft. I told you this, right? It aims to provide interactive visualization, business intelligence capabilities with an interface simple enough to, okay, it's a part of Microsoft Power Platform. I already explained this before reading this one. This PPT slide actually is for you guys for reference. Okay, so I actually don't like to use this PPT. Why? Because when you actually use this PPT, it will be like framed in that say points only. But I don't want to do that. Say I may go with this batch little slow because we had this session. I think most of them are actually attending this session. So previously I did one more session for one of the other portals, but there I had a very less say what is the time frame. So now it's not like that. It's I'm doing in my portal, so this will be completely like free of time. So I'll just give you whatever I can in the entire course. Okay. All right. Again, you have something called as Power BI service. All these technical things I'll explain. So this is just the points. If you can go through this, you just go through this. So before going to this components, so what I was actually telling is BI is very easy. It is from Microsoft. It is as simple as you're creating pivot tables, and if you know how to represent the data, this Power BI is for you. You can easily learn this. Okay, fine. Now when I actually learn some tools, I should also learn about what all things are available in that, why actually we use this, where all I can use this. First is we have something called as components. Let's understand about the components. So here the components means in Power BI we have different say objects, or you can say the services. First thing is the desktop. So what is this desktop? So this is what the entire course is all about, Power BI desktop. When I said desktop, that means you are working in a desktop, that is it is installed in my system, and I'll be working on the reports here. I'll be working on these reports. You don't need any internet connection here while working on the reports, unless and until the data is actually from the web, or say it is coming from internet. If it is a standalone data like Excel or SQL server or anything data like that, you don't have to require the internet connection as well, unless and until you publish that. Most of the projects we do in desktop. Why? Because it is faster, and then I can take it to the web service that I'll tell you in the next component. Make sure that you will actually practice more of desktop. If you learn desktop, then any other things are similar to that. Okay, the next one is about the service. So what is this service? Service is nothing but I created my project, my reports are ready. Now I need to send it to someone. When I say Excel project, what I do, I'll send the Excel file to someone with mail. I'll say I'll just type a mail, I'll send it. That's all over. That fellow will check, and again he'll call and he'll say there is some changes. Please send the file again. Again I have to send one more file. The files are keep on going unless and until the perfection is done. That is the final output is done. It can be 2 files, 3 files, 10 files, sometimes 50 files also. But what I mean this service is, I will publish. Publish in the sense I'll put that into one cloud where everyone can access. Now even Excel or MS Office 365 is the same concept, where I can update the data here. The person who has got that access for that particular file, he can refresh and he can see the data. I don't have to keep on sending this file what I have. Right? So you can see the data there. You can see that, sorry, not data, you can see the reports there by just refreshing, provided he has got the permission. Right? So service is nothing but it's a cloud where I put my file in that, where everyone, or say whoever I want, I can share that complete say what is that the file, and you can access that. Okay, this is an online service. Exactly, if you guys have worked on Google Sheets, you will experience this. All right, then we have components, that is mobile apps. We can create our own apps by using this Power BI. There is one component itself for Power BI apps. This will not be covering. So I'll be covering this first two components what I mentioned, the service and the desktop. These are all some other components what we have. So you have this Power BI mobile apps for Android and iOS device, as well as for Windows Phone and tablet. That is Power Apps. We can create our own apps here just by dragging and dropping. Power BI Gateway, yes, this I'll be covering. Gateway is nothing but it's a component which will help in connecting the data with the reports, and I can schedule. Gateway is used to sync external data. I told you, right? It can connect between the data and the reports, but this will be in the Power BI service, where we can have the automated refreshing of the data. Say I can schedule saying every day the data has to get refreshed. Every 5 minutes it has to get refreshed. So you can schedule it. So for that, I need to have some component, that is gateway. So I'll show you how this gateway actually works. This will come in the end when I create the reports and things like that. Then in the end, I'll tell you how this gateway actually works. Then embedded is like I can take this the reports whatever I've created, and I can embed this in any of the web applications or say web pages, right? So that I can get the reports directly, right? Then Power BI report server, this is a very bigger way. Okay, the big companies, they'll have their own servers where I can have the servers where I can put all the files there or data there, and I can use it. This is completely on the bigger side actually. We have this premium and marketplace. Premium is again a kind of license where the companies will purchase for bulk license for the entire companies. And marketplace, this is where you will have all the components, like what we have this add-ins. Likewise, we'll have all the objects, or say you can say that additional visualizations. Say we have visualization in Power BI, pie chart, column chart, bar chart, or something. Apart from that, there are some companies, okay, support this Microsoft, where they create their own visualizations. For say, for example, Gantt chart. We don't have Gantt chart by default in Power BI. One example I'm giving. So what will happen is I want that Gantt chart. I cannot create that in the Power BI, or I have to do a lot of calculations for that. Instead, I have one visualization which will help me in just creating this Gantt chart. So I can go to that marketplace, like what we have this Play Store in Android. I'll go to the Play Store. There'll be so many apps. Likewise, I have this marketplace where I can install or say download the visualization. Okay. So these are some of the components what I have in Power BI. Okay. All right. Next is about the installation. Installation is very simple. Simple in the sense, if you go to Microsoft Power BI website, there will have a file to download, and then it will take 5 minutes install. It's not like any other operating system or any other application where we have to think too much. In just 2 to 3 minutes, say 5 minutes maximum, we can install Power BI. So if you go to this website, here I have this one website. Let me just show you that website also. If you go here, say download Power BI, that's all. Just type okay. Right. So now I can see. Okay. Okay. So if you go to this website, powerbi.microsoft.com, and here you will get this download. Say download Power BI tools and apps. All the components what I discussed, everything is available here. You can see that Power BI desktop, Power BI mobile, then gateway, then builder, and then we have this report server. Depending on my requirement, I can download. Now if you go to this Power BI desktop, I have this advanced download options. If I click here, I will come to this page where I have this download. Click on this download. Here I'll have two versions. One is 64-bit, 32-bit. Now when I say I want to install the software, you should be aware of what operating system I have and whether it is a 64-bit or 32-bit I have. So how to check that? I'm not so technical, again I'm telling you, I just know how to check that. Now don't ask me that what if I have 32-bit, can I install 64-bit, or if I have 64-bit, can I install 32-bit? Make sure that if you have 64-bit, download 64-bit and install. Now don't ask with more deeper technical set, because I'm not aware of it, and I actually don't know how to do that also, because you have to change the operating system, and I'm not a guy who actually can suggest you that. Okay, but yes, I'll show you how we can check what operating system you have and what is your 64-bit or 32-bit. So just go to this my PC here, this PC, right click and say properties. That's all. Now if you go, it says 64-bit processor, and I have Windows 10. Make sure that you have Windows 10 for installing this Power BI. Windows 8 also will work, but it will be very slow. Windows 10 itself, it will be like very slow, but make sure that Windows 10, and if you have 64-bit, take it 64-bit. Otherwise, if you have 32-bit, you can go to 32-bit. If you go here, I have this 64 and 32, whichever you want, you can download. So don't think that okay, I'll download both. You don't have to bother, because it's completely free. It is available anytime you want, so you don't have to keep on don't think that I'll download now only it will get deleted. Don't do that, because say 3 or 4 years back, even I used to do same thing, thinking that I'll get both the software, I'll just download it. Then I realized that will be available, so unnecessarily I'm downloading it. So whenever you want, you just download. Okay, fine. So whichever operating system that the bit processor you have, download that, install it. Once you install, then you'll get the application installed like this, Microsoft Power BI. Here we'll get the desktop. So I'll discuss about the Power BI desktop in the next session, but today we'll just finish this part. All right, now about the updates. Okay, so after installation, let me talk about the updates of the software. Updates means every month. Okay, every month the application will be getting updated. They might add some new features or some new options every time when I download. So when I want to upgrade it, I have to download and then install. This is one disadvantage here. But when I download the new application, there is new updates, whatever is there, the software. When I install, it will upgrade the already installed software. So don't get confused. So if you want to upgrade, I have to download the latest software which is there in the website, install it, that will get updated, which is already installed. So you don't have to uninstall and then again install it. Previously, say 2 or 3 years back, when I was installing, it was actually having multiple versions. So now I have one version. If I install again, it was installing another version. Now it's not like that. It will get upgraded automatically. Okay, you don't have to bother, and again, it is completely free. You can install it. Okay, fine. So after installing, you can start working on it, but I'll talk about the layouts, what all things you can do in Power BI, that in the next session. But before that, let's understand the architecture. People, this architecture is very important in BI tools, not only in Power BI, in any BI tool sometimes. So what is architecture? Architecture is nothing but the way the complete software works. Okay, the way the complete software works. Now if you go here, first thing is I need to have the data. Right, I need to have the data. You can see that the data is in different data source. Now what is data source? So I might use the word data source. Data source is nothing but it is actually the application where we store the data. I have Excel, I have SQL Server, TXT files, CSV files. There will be various different sources where I can get the data. The first thing is I should know from where I can get the data, and that can be decided by either an analyst, by the data analyst, or by the client. But client will not tell that my data should be in SQL Server only. You will just tell that, see, I have 20 lakh records. Now it's a job of a analyst, the data analyst, who has to decide whether the data should be in Excel or in SQL Server or in Access or whatever, depending on the size of the data, how it is actually getting updated. So you have to actually plan. That is why you should be technically prepared. Now, many of them who ask, why should we learn SQL for working on Power BI? This is what I was telling. Many people actually think that, okay, I won't learn SQL. Can I learn Power BI? See, learning and working is totally different. To learn, you don't have to learn SQL. Directly, you can learn Power BI. There is nothing wrong. You can easily learn. But for working, yes, it is required. Why? I'll tell you. Because not always you'll be working only in Excel. When you go to a company, the data might be huge. You should know the SQL as well. This is where it will come to the picture. So you should decide whether I should only learn or I should learn this to work. Right? So that's why we'll always suggest that be prepared with all the tools where the companies requires, so that you don't have to bother in the end moment. Power BI, applied for Power BI, I got a call. Now you see the JD, Power BI, yes. Then again they'll put Excel, then SQL, so many other softwares. Then in the end moment you'll think what to do. I have got so many calls, so many of my students calling, sir, I've got an interview for Power BI, but they're also asking Excel and SQL. Can you teach me today? Tomorrow is my interview. Seriously, I have got this kind of calls, because I'm not telling that it's wrong that what they're asking. They're in a hurry that they have to attend the interviews. But do you think studying that today and going and attending interviews, it's not exams? We used to do last night to study and go and write the exams. It's not like that, because the result is shown there only. The client will easily understand when you go and sit there itself. I don't know about others. For me, if I see the candidate itself, I'll know that whether he knows or not. Just by talking to them only, I'll come to know. Okay, so the interviewer will easily understand. So don't hurry. People don't hurry. Nothing will happen. You just call them and say that, see, I'm not well, or I'm somewhere outside. Can you schedule this next week? Over. The fear of people is they think that tomorrow if I not go, that's all. Finish. For one candidate, I myself have waited 1 year. I myself have waited for 1 year for the good candidate. Just because they call for an interview tomorrow, it's not that you have to go. You also have your own commitment. If at all they want to take any other person, you can't stop, but you can request. Okay, so don't hurry. So what I'm telling is, when you're actually planning something, make sure that you will have the 360-degree of knowledge. Just like that, don't go because Power BI is on demand. Okay, now when I say data, this is very important. So there are so many data sources, which I'll show you all the data sources which are used in Power BI. Now let's say after this, what will happen? After this, the entire data will come to the desktop, that is Power BI. Or if you are working directly in the service online, that will go to the Power BI service. Once you take the data to the Power BI desktop, then we have to keep it somewhere where everyone can access. Right? You have created one program, one video. Now everyone has to see. There should be some means, right? Either you can send it through WhatsApp, or you can put it in YouTube somewhere, so that everyone can watch. Similarly, my project is ready. I want everyone to see that. I want a few others also who can modify it, or they can check that. Put it in Power BI service. Power BI service is not for the general people, everyone can see. This is for within the organization where others can see. Then after this will go to the client. How it will go? It will go like a web page. That is, we call it as publishing, where I can publish the reports, and the user, the client, can only see the reports. He cannot see any other things. Right? In between this Power BI service and the client, there will be that gateway which will help me in refreshing the data. Okay, that will be in between. It will be in between this, where I can refresh the data. Okay, so this I'll stop here for today. In the next session, I'll talk about the Power BI desktop, what all components we have in that, sorry, what are elements we have in that, what is the layout we have, and then we'll see how we can connect the data source from various different data source and get the data to my Power BI. Okay, let me stop here.